on KFNX.
If I traded it.
All right, this one's going to be real different for you guys. I now have David Van Wee, and he's with RatOutYourFriends.com.
You may have heard our advertisement previously, and we're working on the singing.
You got to I was going to say RatOutYourFriends.com. Okay, so what is tell us a little bit about what RatOutYourFriends.com is, because everybody's got to be saying, what is that?
Well, that's the idea. That's why we picked that name. Carol, have you ever had anything stolen?
Yeah.
Of course. Everybody's had something stolen. Bikes, iPads, cars, phones. Your house gets broken into, and what do? You do what everyone does. You call the police. The police come out and they fill out a police report for you. And as much as the police want to help you, they just don't have time. So then what do? There's not much there. We've created a website now that can help people be proactive in dealing with their lost or stolen property. And we deal in categories like shoplifting. It's a $50 billion a year industry. Office theft, $50 billion a year industry. Pranks, who toilet papered my house. Deadbeat dads. Vandalism, who came over to the car wash and spray painted all over the wall. Insurance fraud, all those things. Everybody knows somebody.
You know what you remind me of is that man who comes out on, I think the name of the show was Network. I'm mad as hell.
And I'm not going to take it anymore.
And I'm not going to take it anymore. And basically, what you've done is you've created this website for people who have had things done to them that they wish that something can get expedited faster, right?
Correct.
Or that they would love to do something about it but never do, right?
Right.
Okay.
We all work on greed. That's how it works. And as much as we hope that people have a kind heart and will pass on information that we need to help us in when we lose things or things get stolen or vandalized and so forth, you've got to create an incentive. And that's what we've done. On our website, you go on. Let's say that, for example, there was a woman, Kimberly Vaughn. She's been in the news lately. She lost her wedding ring in the airport. Her husband was a Navy SEAL, got killed in action on the helicopter that crashed with those 22 Marines in it. And so she's devastated. Her wedding ring for her husband's gone. How is she going to get that back? Well, she's put the word out on all the different stations. But what we've done on our site is not only have we listed that she's lost that item, but we ourselves have put up a $1,000 reward as well. So whether it was stolen or lost, that's really irrelevant. What we're looking for is people who might know a person who found a ring, or maybe there is someone that took that ring and knows about it. They can go on our site and completely anonymously, and that's anonymity on both sides, they can negotiate for the item. And then through that, we get that ring back to that person.
And so the rat is who?
The rat's the hero. And I know the rat does a negative connotation, but the rat is the hero. The rat is the one with the information that you need. The rat is the one who maybe they go over to a party and see a big screen TV, and they hear through conversation that the owner of the house stole that TV from somebody else. You know, I got involved in this because I'm in the car wash business. And in the car wash business, we get a lot of vandalism. About a year ago, we had about $10,000 worth of damage. I know that there is someone within a 5-mile radius of my car wash that has my stuff all over their dining room table. And I know that there's probably been people in and out of his house that have seen it and know about it. So if I incentivize them with money to give me that information, whether it's a name, an address, maybe they have a name of the person who knows the person, whatever the case may be. What's great about our site is completely free market. It's complete capitalism. People will go on and negotiate on their own terms. If you have a family heirloom or a watch, it might be worth $1,000 to you. If it's a regular watch, it might be worth $50. If the person negotiating with you has just a name, that might only be worth $50. If they have the name and the address, that might be worth $500 to you. They negotiate on their own terms on the site.
Now, the site is RatOutYourFriends.com, but it's not necessarily when you call them friends.
You're right. Well,
I'm sitting here thinking, is that my friend?
It might be. Now, there's no honor among thieves. So it could very well be a friend. It could very well be an acquaintance. It could be maybe a friend of a friend of a friend. Can it be something where you've seen something like, you might have seen somebody do something?
Like,
Oh, sure.
they saw that? Like, as a witness, an eyewitness to it, that they say that they saw this happen, can they go online and also be a part of it?
Absolutely. If you're in a car accident and someone hits your car and that person speeds away and you happen to be in that area and you see the license plate, you know who did it.
Exactly. That's exactly where I was going.
Now you can go online, and not only can you be the good citizen, but you might get a little bit out of it as well for yourself. That's what we all work on.
It's called ratoutsyourfriends.com. All right. So how does a person stay anonymous then?
Well, we have a patented process where the only thing that the person sees on our site is a username that the person creates. Now, if you put your own name down for the username, then that, of course, wouldn't work. But we're hoping that most people will go ahead and use some other name. You can make up whatever you want. That's the only thing that people see on our site.
So it's an anonymous name. You're not using your own name.
Correct.
Everybody's doing that now.
Yeah, exactly. And so there's no fear of retribution. There's no fear of, if you're a business, your employees can go on and let's say that the salesman has been on Facebook all day and not doing their job, and the other person is suffering because there's some kind of group deal where if they all do well, then they get a reward. That employee can go on our site and report it to the business and say, hey, this guy's on Facebook all the time. The business then can decide if they want to negotiate to find out who it is or not.
So it doesn't have to be something necessarily that was stolen from you or that you were in a car accident or something like that. Let's say somebody's in a business that in your office and you're working your buddy off, right? And the person next to you in that cubicle is always on the phone, making personal calls or online doing something they shouldn't do, and they're getting paid the same amount or more than you. You want to rat out that guy.
That's right.
So
whether
this
he's
is
your friend
why
or not.
So exactly. Now, that's where it comes down to how that business benefits from it.
Businesses deal with all kinds of problems: office theft, shoplifting, employees on Facebook, false injury claims. Businesses can now become a member of Rat Out Your Friends. And when you do that, you can decide the level to which you want your employees to know that you're a member. Once they do that, any person can go on the site and enter in information about that business. When anything's entered with that business's name, we immediately notify the business. So once they get the email, they can see, okay, I've got a guy who's saying someone's on Facebook all the time. I've got a guy who's been stealing printers out of the back room. I've got a guy who's been sleeping on the job. Whatever the case may be. I have an employee who, while he's on sales calls, has been going to strip clubs. Whatever the case may be, they can go on that site completely anonymously, and the business can decide how they want to negotiate with it. They may say, I don't care about the Facebook thing. I'm not going to deal with it.
But this website, I just want to say, is for everyone.
Everybody.
It isn't just a business. We're talking about that side of it right now.
Correct.
But what you're saying is anyone, if you've been ripped off in any way, this is another way for you to get back.
Correct. There's not a lot of options out there. So instead of, and this is not anything negative about the police, they just don't have time to deal with the thefts that we feel are important.
Right.
But there has to be another way for us to be proactive, and that's what this is.
It's easy to remember, guys. ratoutyyourfriends.com.
And we are asking if anybody has a daughter or wife or girlfriend that's a good singer. We are looking for some replacements for our last singers. We have a YouTube channel. You can upload your video there, share with us your voice, and hopefully we'll give you a call and have you come in and record the commercial for us.
Well, how could they call you? Should they go online and get the number there? You have a contact page, or how do you want them
Correct.
to
Go
do
online.
that?
You can get the number there. You can also communicate through us on the emails on our websites.
Okay, it's ratoutyyourfriends.com. All right, let's go back into this. What exactly? Go quickly down what the process is. I just had my ring stolen from me.
Right. So
now
you've had
I'm
your
mad as hell, and I want to do something about it.
I had a woman talk to us about they had some workmen over at the house. She had her wedding ring stolen. As they left, she figured something was wrong. Sure enough, the jewelry was missing with her wedding ring. So she calls the police. They actually ended up getting the guy, but the wedding ring was not on him. They never got it back. To her, that was everything. She said, I'd be willing to pay $1,000 just to get my wedding ring back. She would go on our website, and she would post the incident. It's called an incident report. She goes on, fills out all the information. You can upload pictures. Then once that's done, then it's out there for everybody.
For them to do that, does it cost money?
Right now, it's free. We will be charging $6.99 to have your post on our site for 6 months. That's a little more than $1 a month.
But right now, it's free. I just wanted to get that out there.
It is.
Go ahead.
It's completely free. So they go on, they post. That puts it out there to everybody. You can share on Facebook. Then anybody who maybe knows that person, sees the ring, a pawn shop happens upon it, they can go on that site, and instead of the pawn shop selling it for $100, the pawn shop might say, wow, there's a $1,000 reward for this ring. They can then anonymously go on our site and communicate with the person who lost the ring. They negotiate back and forth only using a username. So those emails do go directly to their email box, so they'll be able to open it and see what the offers are and what they're talking about, but they never know the actual email, never know who they're talking about. Once they have a deal, then we come in and we escrow the deal. They're not going to trust them. They're not going to trust the other person. You send the money to us. We put it in escrow. We have them release the information to you. After 14 days, you're satisfied. We release the money. If there's a problem, we have a third-party negotiator that decides where the money goes.
Guys, it's called ratoutyourfriends.com. And even if you're a business and you've got an employee that's been snoozing on the job or doing something they shouldn't be doing, if you know someone that's doing that, rat them out. Also, if you've been robbed, and it's always someone you know, some neighbor, right, that's done something like that. A lot of times
It's a small world.
Vandalism. How about, I didn't even know that TPing was illegal. Doesn't really matter. Rat them out. Why not? Go to ratoutyourfriends.com.